Why did I... Wait. Why the heck did I... Okay, I don't know why I clicked save on that, but anyway. We have a two-player game with me against amitss1. Previous to this, we had a game that wasn't recorded, but was actually very interesting. It was a German game that actually ended in a tie, which is the first one of those I've had in years. I actually don't mind ties at all because a tie in a two-player game on BSW, it actually gives both players the win for that. So it's improving both of our win rates. And I gladly welcome that. Just as much as I gladly welcome amitss paying 7 for the 4 plant in a two-player game. That's about $2 more than I would pay for it, personally. So I'm going to take the first build here, and now we have blue, purple, red. I played this config recently against Tailcop, I think. I went with Anders as the build, but Tours might have been better. Nah, I don't think I agree with Tours. Nah, I think it's still Anders. Anders is still the build. It gives you the most different connections into blue and purple and red. So... And yeah, that's the obvious counter build there, which is fine. 31 goes under the deck this time. Ooh. I'll actually bid 6 on this. I want to grab some cheap coal, and I want to play angle for turn order here, so I can try to get myself in position for the 10 and the 11 and all that. And amitss buys the 8, which is expected. I have no reason to buy extra oil. I'll just jack up coal as much as I can here. See, what I like about the Anders build is you have options here. You can go up north into purple here. You can go down into La Rochelle and actually threaten the more expensive blue cities here. And if the opponent gets aggressive and tries to cut you off there, you can jump past them into Orleans or even just straight into Paris. Alright, so plans were 25, 34, 38. Under the deck, 42 comes in. Now this is the question. Here's a question. Do I buy the 10 or do I stay low in the turn order? I'm considering not buying the 10 here actually because of this 25 coming up. Although, still a lot of bad plants that can come. I think I'll just buy the 10 and see what happens. Yep. Low plant didn't come. We'll see if it comes next turn, but this will be interesting. My opponent has no reason to build this turn, so I might as well build my third and... just, what, go in the turn order from there? Yeah. Because La Rochelle has to be my next city. Leave me 23. 23. 23. have exactly enough to do this. I expect my opponent will build Rennes probably as their next city. Which I'm fine with, because if they do that, then I can go into Orleans and Paris. I can threaten that stuff. Oh no, opponent does the straight south build. That's interesting. Make sure I got this right. $23 comes in. This is what I was talking about. I figured at some point we could get a bad plant in here to block 25. The fact that the 23 is the one that's next, though, might actually make me give it up. And just go for 23, because 23 should make more money than 11 overall. Like, the France really changes the situation with 23 a lot, so... Or actually... let me calculate this. Calculate this out. I can pay one more for this. God damn it. Wow. And I was thinking about not bidding on that too. I was really thinking about stopping bidding. Once again, 21 out of nowhere after I win a bidding war for another plant. I mean, that hasn't happened in my last few two-player games, but it has been a pretty consistent theme here. The 21 out of nowhere. There were lots of bad plants that could have still come too, or I should say, plants worse than 11. Yeah, they go for that, which is fine. Rennes is good because it also locks up Brest for me. For sure, like my opponent's not going to want to jump into here in step 1. But yeah, I am easily behind now. Easily behind. Even as efficient as the 11 is, I am so behind in this game as of right now. 21 at cost is an absolute killer. Just a killer. I don't need to buy a plant this turn because oil is cheap enough that I can run the 3 at a profit again. $39. Because I'm not going to have enough money. Ooh! I have a play here. I have a play. I actually have a play here. Check this out. Check this out. Check this shit out. And I can buy a uranium. I have exactly enough money for this play. Or would I rather store extra? I might rather stop at 7, actually. So 1, 2, 3. That leaves me with 12. All right, so I can store 1 extra coal and do this. Do it this way. Think this is the play. Paris is going to be a lot less attractive to my opponent now when they're their only connection to it is 10, and they only get 1 city out of it instead of 3. But yeah, I definitely want to build a 7 this turn in order to move the market. Try to make sure that, and yes, now we're guaranteed that 25 will stay on for next turn. And I have 1 extra coal stored and enough cities to make use of it, which is really nice for me. 25, 30, 37. So 44 goes under the deck. $19. And this is why I'm glad I built. 25 would not have stayed on the market if I didn't build the 7 off last turn. And yeah, 30 is just, you can't touch 30 at this point. I expect that amitss will probably buy 23 and drive up my uranium some. Yep, I called that one. So my hope is that my Orleans Paris jump here, what I was hoping to accomplish with this is at some point my opponent's going to have to stop buying coal, right? But yeah. Paying just under 40 for the 25 is a fair price. And of course they're going to stop there. So I will build the last Paris city here. I wanted to keep enough money to do that just in case they let me have it. Oh, 46 came in 32. Okay. Well, obviously we passed this junk because of 14 coming on the market, which is great news. Okay, I'm very glad amitss is buying 30. That actually makes me happy to see. You're losing the turn order advantage. Trash is not cheap yet. You're going to drive up the price of it a lot if you run 30 at this stage of the game. Yep. The nice thing is with them buying 30, they also can't drive up my coal as much. So that means that I am not going to regret not buying extra. So I feel like they're going to stand pat here, which means I should build. So I'm looking to target all of these here. Reset or. Because I can gain 3 cities that way. I can get to 11, and I still have... do I want to do that? I have Brest in the back. Because it's kind of on me to move the market here in this situation. I have Brest as my only city left that I can get without a jump. Actually, what I can do is this. Here's what I can do. Except, no, that's even worse. Okay. Okay. All right. Need to think here. Because I do need to make sure I can buy coal. Yeah. I'm okay with this. Oh, they do build. Okay. They're kind of doing my work for me here, which I don't really mind. I mean, I will take Claremont now. This connection is only 6 more expensive, really, because it gives me cheaper connection to this. So I'm really just spending an extra 5 for this Claremont connection, and it leaves Toulouse and Carcassonne open, which is really good for me. That makes that a cheaper jump for me compared to going from La Rochelle. So I'll set that up for next turn. And I was correct not to buy extra resources. Feels very good, man. 32 will actually be interesting for me here. See, the big 6 capacity plants early on, I normally don't like to buy those before step 3 in a 2-player game, but here I'll consider it. Actually, no, 29. 29 might serve me better. Are you really gonna do this, bruh? You really gonna do this, bruh? 29. I feel like we're far enough away from step 3 that I'd rather go for 29. Oil does not have a good restock rate, so I will get 29, just use that as an oil plant. I'll bid this a little bit, though. Okay, bid it to 40. I'll do that. Okay, I got an extra $8 out of them on that exchange. I didn't even want 32. I just knew that they would probably want it. And also, they're kind of forced to waste an extra coal there, leaving it on the 8 that they're going to replace. Yep. 29 is really a better fit for me anyway. And I'll definitely replace the 10 so that way I can get a little extra oil on this. So where do I build? I think the answer is this is the turn where I now want to move the market, especially with 17 coming in. Yes. So the reason I'm keeping the 5 is just solely so I can store oil. And I have exactly 12 capacity, so I can run the 5 this turn as well. This is going to be expensive-ass builds, though. 1, 2, 3. That leaves me with 23, so I actually don't have the luxury to do as much as I'd like. Which means I'm not going to store an extra uranium. I would rather store an extra extra oil. And that's the correct play. Yeah. Because that will leave me with exactly enough for this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. My opponent doesn't have power to drive up coal very much at this point, so I'm fine with this. Yep. Take my 12 cities, baby. So I definitely win the builds here. I had to jump a little bit, so it's probably not a dominant win, but it is a win nonetheless, which I will gladly take. This is why I like the Angers start on this particular map config. This gives you flexibility here. And I'm actually going to store extra oil here, not run the 5. Because I have no use for these plants now, with 15 coming in. Oh, I didn't even see the 39 went under. Yeah, 39, 37. I'm trying to attack my opponent's money advantage here. Since I don't have any more pressing builds this turn, I will, in fact, just buy all the oil. I'll just buy all the oil I can, and I will run the... Ooh, okay, so my opponent didn't even buy uranium or trash. Not buying uranium is good news for me to see. Yeah, so 20 didn't even get on the market last turn. That's pretty amazing. Thing is, 20 does not really help me at this point. Plus, I think we're very close to step 3 market now. Oh, 33 was drawn too. Yeah, so step 3 is going to come next turn. All right, then. Here's the question. Can I build to 17? Because I'm going to be stuck up top with a terrible market next turn. Let me think about this. So I would need to build 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't. I unfortunately can't. This sucks. This is very bad news for me. Which means I need to store all the extra resources I can. And just drive up oil as much as humanly possible. Let me think. Next turn, I'm not going to get 35 next turn. So I don't want the 20. 34 will obviously be the plant I target here. I'm trying to think of how much oil... Okay, because I'm burning 2 oil there, 1 oil there. I don't want to be left with... I don't want to have more than 2 oil left over for next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I'm going to burn 1 oil this turn. Yeah, I think this is going to be the correct call here. Because I'm going to replace the 5 next turn. Yeah. Do it this way. And I'm not going to build because I want to make my opponent go above me on a future turn. So actually I could have bought 1 more oil. That was a mistake of mine. Silly, silly me. And I stored that extra uranium because we know that 34 is the plant I'm going to have to bid on. $46 comes in. Well, that's not a plant my opponent needs, at least. So that is a plant I need, though. I need 46. Luckily, we have the other 2 7 plants both still in the game that could get me to 17. So I think what we do here is replace the 11? Yeah, replace the 11. I imagine amitss will buy the 46 just to prevent me from getting it. Yep. And that's another crap plant in its place with 31. Luckily, my opponent doesn't have great coal buyout power. So... Now I'm very glad I bought the extra uranium, because they're going to keep 23 another turn here. Actually, they're keeping 23 for the whole game now, so yeah. Very, very glad I bought the extra uranium. What I'm going to do here is, I think, do I buy extra resources? I think at minimum I have to buy extra coal. Okay, so anyway, what do they buy? They buy lots of crap. Lots of crap. Which tells me I just buy extra coal and the minimum on other stuff. I think I'm still losing this game ultimately, but I do want to drop in the turn order this turn. My opponent could have threatened a coal buyout on me. If I didn't buy extra on the 25. So now this is actually decent because I can build to 14 in order to get my most value from everything here. All right. This is actually good news for me because if 36 were to drop, I could safely buy it. But, alas, no 7 plant yet. And of course they have to pass to me. What's my play here? What's my play here? Because I need 7 more cities to end the game. Plus buying a plant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Minus uranium, oil, and buy 31. I think ending the game at 20 cities may very well be my play here. Because Amitss's remaining cities are a little more expensive than mine. Yeah, definitely more expensive than mine. I think this is actually going to be my play. I'm just going to end the game this turn. I have to gamble on Amitss not being rich enough because I can't get to 21. All right. Calculate this out one more time. Because I'm purple. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 35. So I have 3 coal and 1 oil. I guess I should have paid more for 32, huh? Though they could attack oil really well with their 21. But yeah, I have to just end the game and hope they don't have the money. Yeah, that's all I can do. Amitss is going to win the game next turn anyway, since I have to buy one more plant and they don't. So they're still going to win, I bet, but I just have to end it here and see. If they somehow... They're going to get to 21, though. Right? They're getting to 21. Even if they get to 20, they probably beat me. Yes! Oh my god. I did not think that was going to work. Wow. Hell of a game right there. I thought I was... Basically, ever since Amitss got that 21 drop out of nowhere, I thought I was going to lose like the whole rest of the way in that game. Did not think I'd pull this one off. Alright then. Great game. Definitely glad I recorded this one, and I'm really glad that you get to watch this one. Very happy I pulled this one off. Sometimes you can overcome bad luck in this game. Sometimes.